But also for those who just want a visa to go to the US, Grenadians get a 10-year visa.
This meanly be present by CA Street.
Hello, welcome to Global Visa Flagship Interview Series, Meeting the Officials. I'm Laura, I'm your host today. Today we have a great honor to invite a very distinguished guest here to join us to share some information about Grenada. Our guest is Mr. Thomas Anthony.
Thank you, Laura. Hi, everyone. Thanks to Globe Visa for giving me this opportunity to provide information on the Grenada program. I am the CEO of the Investment Migration Agency Grenada, that is the government office which processes the applications for citizenship. I have been the CEO since April of 2023. Before that, I did work for the program as a CEO in 2018 to 2019.
To begin, the Grenada CBI program is widely respected as the golden standard in this industry. From your perspective, what makes you most proud of this program you lead?
Well, Grenada is quite unique in the Caribbean programs. There are 5 programs in the Caribbean. Grenada is unique in that we have the E2 treaty, which separates us from all of the other programs. The E2 treaty essentially means that you can invest as a Grenadian up to a minimum of 51% in a US located entity, and you get a 5-year visa for you and your family to live in America, work, go to school. 5-year multiple entry, and it's renewable.
So my next question is, speaking of your leadership and setting standard, there has been a major industry news recently about the 5 Caribbean CBI program nations. We know that Grenada is chosen to be its head. This is a landmark step for the industry. Could you just share more about this?
What Laura is talking about is what's called the regional authority. It's a regional regulator which will set standards for all of the programs in the Caribbean. So we will all operate at the same standards, and this regional regulator will monitor and manage and make sure that all of the units are operating at those minimum standards. All stakeholders, agents, and developers alike will also be monitored to ensure that they are maintaining those standards. It was important for us as a region to create a regulator to set and monitor standards because we want the programs to continue. We had to satisfy our international partners like the European Union, the UK, and the US. We have very robust due diligence processes to vet applicants so that they can have some assurances that when individuals travel to their countries with our passports, that they would have been vetted properly.
Okay, that's a very powerful statement. So what is the primary purpose of this new regular body? What specific issue is it designed to address?
Well, there are a few areas that it's important that we address. One, as I said earlier, to set standards, to make sure that all of the units are operating at the same standard, that there's not opportunity for arbitrage between the countries, right? You may know that some agents may attempt to get a program to lower their standards in exchange for more applications.
Yes.
So this is going to set standards that everyone has to operate by. The second thing is to assure our international partners with whom we have visa-free travel that we are vetting applicants. We have a robust vetting process, background checks that meet European standards, US standards, international standards. Yeah. And then the third thing I think that is really important is the longevity of the program. We want to have these programs for a long time because they are an important source of non-tax revenue for the governments in the Caribbean. So we want to protect that revenue source.
Okay, so the hottest the standard that's residence requirement?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Coming will be a requirement for citizens, for applicants, to reside or to visit the countries in the
Yes.
Caribbean, the country with whom they apply, for 30 days. But not all members of the family will have to do this 30 days. So the principal applicant or the main applicant, right, must visit for 5 days in 12 months, yes. And then the other members, the dependents on the application, they can visit for the additional 25 days over the next 5 years.
So my next question is about the call period.
Yeah.
Before you implement this new policy, how long will it implement? Just can you give a call period for the applicants?
This is going to be an estimate and not a certainty, right? All of the countries, the 5 countries, have agreed to have the legislation passed in their parliaments by the end of October. The legislation will be passed. But there's still the work to be done to build the regulator, right? To hire the CEO,
To fill the details.
to fill all of the positions and the regulations. So you have the act, which is going to be passed, but then the act must be supported by regulation, and the regulations have not been created yet. So you need time to create the regulations, and you need time to hire the staff, and you need time to equip the office. So I'd say maybe by January of next year, we can expect for implementation of the regulation.
So my next question is about E2 visa.
Sure.
Let's move to how many in our audience see as Grenada as a crown jewelry, its unique relationship with United States. Grenada is only Caribbean CDI country that holds an E2 investor visa treaty with the US. For those unfamiliar, could you explain the profound significance of this?
Yes, it's quite significant because for those who are looking for an entry into the US, it provides a more cost-effective route into the United States than the EB-5 program.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Yes, and it's a shorter wait time. So there's a misconception that you would have to reside physically in Grenada for 3 years before applying for the E2 visa. But that is not the case. What the Amigo Act says is that you have to domicile.
Okay.
And domicile is different to physical residence. So domicile can be created in law. It could be 12 days, it could be 7 days, it could be that you need to rent, to lease a property, it could be that you need to open a bank account, or you need to get a second ID, yes, to establish some link to the country, but not physically move into the country. And in some cases you may have to wait 3 years, but I am aware that there are individuals who have applied before the 3 years and have been approved for the E2 treaty.
Yeah.
And so the E2 treaty, as I said earlier, you invest in a company, it could be a franchise, yeah? And you get a 5-year multiple entry visa for you and your family. But also for those who just want a visa to go to the US, Grenadians get a 10-year visa, B1, B2 visa, and the approval rate is very high. The approval rating is very high. So 90-something% of the people who apply would normally get approved for a visa.
Looking ahead, the investment migration industry is constantly evolving. How is Grenada position itself to not just adapt, but to continue leading the way in terms of quality and value?
So we have, as you would have noticed, embraced technology. We believe in using the latest technology to help us to become more efficient. Also, technology helps us to be more accurate, right, in our assessment. So we have digitized the entire application process. So from the time of submission until the citizenship certificate is issued, it's a completely digital process. There's no need to submit physical documents to us. And we also utilize artificial intelligence to help us to vet the applications before they move along the process flow.
Yeah.
And so as I'm sitting here in Singapore, I can log on to our system and I can assess applications and have them move to the next stage. I don't need to be physically in Grenada for that to happen. Anywhere in the world that I am, I can have applications continue in the process flow.
Wow.
So that makes us really efficient.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I've had reports where applications have been approved in 2 months. I've had reports where applications are processed in 3 months because we utilize technology to help us in that process.
Finally, my last question. What kind of families will choose Grenada as their plan B?
So an application, as you know, comprises a main applicant and spouse, children up to 30 years old, parents and grandparents, siblings as well.
Siblings, yeah.
So it's multi-generational across family structures. But I think the key that I want to leave with your listeners is that citizenship is for life and it crosses all generations. So your children, your children's children, their spouses, their children, once you register every generation, it continues for the life of your family into perpetuity.
Exactly.
So that I think is the key, that once you become a citizen of Grenada, you're treated like any other Grenadian and is passed on to your descendants. And I think that is really important to understand, that you're making this investment now, but it's for the rest of your bloodline.
Yeah, especially Grenada has a very famous medical St. George University,
Yes.
which is a path to the US hospital. Good choice for your children and for all the parents, the siblings.
Yes.
So that's all for our today. Mr. Anthony, thank you not just for your time and also for your the news you bring to us. And I look forward to having another conversation with you soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Choose Grenada.
This is the beneficials. We speak with leaders whose calls are crucial.